My friend, I come before you today not as a theorist, not as one who speculates about success, but as one who has devoted more than 20 years of his life to the scientific analysis of the principles that govern the accumulation of wealth. I have had the privilege of studying intimately the methods employed by more than 500 of America's most successful men and women, including Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, Thomas A. Edison, Theodore Roosevelt, and Charles M. Schwab. What I am about to share with you is not mere opinion. It is not wishful thinking. It is the distilled essence of proven principles that have been tested in the laboratory of human experience and found to be absolutely reliable. These are the very principles that have enabled ordinary men and women to transform themselves into millionaires within remarkably short periods of time. The title of today's presentation may seem audacious to some: Force yourself to build wealth in 30 days. But I assure you, my friend, that what may appear impossible to the untrained mind becomes not only possible, but inevitable when you understand and apply the fundamental laws that govern the accumulation of riches. Let me be clear from the outset, I am not promising you that you will have $1 million in your bank account 30 days from today. What I am promising you is something far more valuable. I am going to give you the master key that unlocks the door to unlimited wealth. I am going to show you how to set in motion, within the next 30 days, the forces that will make your financial independence not only possible, but certain. The principles I am about to reveal to you are the same principles that enabled Andrew Carnegie to accumulate more than $400 million, starting as a poor immigrant boy. They are the same principles that lifted Henry Ford from a farm boy to the head of one of the world's greatest industrial empires. They are the principles that enabled Thomas Edison to convert his ideas into more than $14 million in cash value. You see, my friend, wealth is not a matter of luck. It is not a matter of inheritance. It is not a matter of education, though education can be helpful. Wealth is a matter of understanding and applying certain definite principles. And these principles, when properly understood and applied, work with mathematical precision. Today, I am going to share with you 7 fundamental principles that, when applied with definiteness of purpose and backed by burning desire, will force wealth to flow to you as surely as water flows downhill. But first, let me warn you, these principles will work only for those who have the courage to apply them. They will work only for those who are willing to pay the price of persistent, intelligent effort. The question is not whether these principles will work. The question is whether you will work them. Principle 1, the master formula of definiteness of purpose. The first and most important principle in forcing yourself to build wealth is what I call definiteness of purpose. This principle is so fundamental, so essential to all achievement, that without it, all other efforts are rendered ineffective. During my 20 years of research, I discovered that every person who had accumulated great wealth had one characteristic in common. They knew exactly what they wanted, exactly how much they wanted, and exactly when they wanted it. They had definiteness of purpose. Let me tell you about Charles M. Schwab, who rose from a day laborer to become president of the great Bethlehem Steel Corporation and accumulated a personal fortune of many millions of dollars. When I asked Mr. Schwab to what he attributed his success, he replied without hesitation, "I have always known exactly what I wanted, and I have concentrated all of my efforts upon getting it." This is not mere coincidence, my friend. This is the operation of a fundamental law. You see, the human mind is like a powerful magnet. When it is focused with definiteness of purpose upon a specific objective, it attracts to itself the people, the circumstances, and the opportunities necessary for the attainment of that objective. But here is where most people fail. They say, "I want to be rich," but they have no definite plan for becoming rich. They have no burning desire. They have no clear mental picture of what they want. Their purpose is vague, indefinite, and therefore powerless. Now, I am going to give you a specific formula for developing definiteness of purpose in your quest for wealth. This formula must be applied within the first week of your 30-day wealth building program. First, you must fix in your mind the exact amount of money you intend to accumulate. It is not sufficient to say, "I want plenty of money." Be definite as to the amount. There is a psychological reason for definiteness, which you will understand later. Second, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. There is no such reality as something for nothing. You must give value for value received. Third, establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. Your mind must have a target date to work toward. Fourth, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire, and begin at once, whether you are ready or not, to put this plan into action. Fifth, write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire. Name the time limit for its acquisition. State what you intend to give in return for the money, and describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. Sixth, read your written statement aloud, twice daily, once just before retiring at night and once after arising in the morning. As you read, see, and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. This formula may appear simple, but do not let its simplicity deceive you. It embodies the concentrated efforts of hundreds of successful men and women. It is based upon scientific principles that have been tested and proven in the laboratory of human experience. Andrew Carnegie told me that he followed this exact procedure in accumulating his vast fortune. He carried a definite mental picture of his steel mills years before they became a reality. He saw himself as the master of a great industrial empire, long before he possessed the first dollar of capital with which to begin building that empire. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. This is not a mere platitude, my friend. This is a scientific fact based upon the understanding of how the mind works. Your definite chief aim becomes the dominating thought of your mind, and this dominating thought attracts to itself all the forces necessary for its fulfillment. This is the beginning of the master formula for wealth accumulation. But definiteness of purpose must be backed by the second principle, which is equally important. Principle 2, the power of burning desire. Definiteness of purpose, standing alone, is not sufficient to ensure the accumulation of wealth. It must be combined with burning desire, a desire so intense, so compelling, that it becomes the dominating thought of your mind. Let me illustrate this principle by telling you about a young man who came to see Thomas Edison with an invention. The young man wanted Mr. Edison to examine his device and give him an opinion as to its commercial value. After examining the invention, Mr. Edison said, "Young man, your device has no commercial value whatsoever. It will never sell." The young man replied, "Mr. Edison, I respectfully disagree with you. I have spent 3 years perfecting this invention. I have invested every dollar I could raise in it. I have mortgaged my home to finance it. I am going to make it successful because I must make it successful. Failure is not an option for me." Mr. Edison looked at the young man for a long moment, then said, "Young man, bring your invention back to me. Any man with your determination will find a way to make anything successful." You see, my friend, it was not the invention that impressed Mr. Edison, it was the burning desire of the inventor. Edison recognized that burning desire, backed by definite purpose, is the starting point of all great achievement. During my study of Henry Ford, I learned that his burning desire to build a horseless carriage was so intense that he worked on his idea for years without any assurance that it would ever be successful. He was ridiculed by his friends. He was called a fool by his neighbors. But his desire was so burning, so intense, that ridicule could not discourage him. Burning desire is the fuel that powers all achievement. Without it, the finest plans are worthless. With it, even mediocre plans can be made to work. But how does one develop burning desire? This is not a matter that can be left to chance. Burning desire must be cultivated deliberately and systematically. The method for developing burning desire is this: you must have a motive, a reason for wanting wealth that is stronger than the obstacles you will encounter in acquiring it. Most people want wealth for the pleasure it will bring them. This is not sufficient. You must want wealth for a reason that goes beyond mere personal pleasure. Let me tell you about a woman who accumulated a fortune of more than $1 million in less than 10 years. When I asked her what motivated her to work so persistently for wealth, she replied, "Mr. Hill, I was determined that my children would never experience the poverty and humiliation that I experienced as a child. That burning desire gave me the strength to persist when others would have quit." You see, her desire was not merely to have money. Her desire was to provide security and opportunity for her children. This gave her desire the burning intensity necessary to overcome all obstacles. Your burning desire must be based upon a definite motive that goes beyond yourself. It may be the desire to provide for your family. It may be the desire to establish a business that will serve humanity. It may be the desire to gain the financial independence necessary to pursue your life's work. But whatever your motive, it must be strong enough to sustain you through the inevitable periods of discouragement and temporary defeat. Here is a specific method for intensifying your desire within the first 10 days of your 30-day program. Every morning upon awakening and every evening before retiring, visualize yourself already in possession of the wealth you seek. See yourself enjoying the benefits that wealth will bring. Feel the satisfaction of financial independence. Experience in your imagination the joy of being able to do the things that wealth will make possible. But do not stop there. Visualize also the service you will render, the good you will do, the problems you will solve with your wealth. Remember, wealth is attracted to those who can and will use it constructively. As you practice this visualization, you will notice that your desire becomes more intense, more burning. This intensification of desire is absolutely essential to your success. The third principle builds upon the foundation of definiteness of purpose and burning desire. Principle 3, the science of autosuggestion. The third principle in forcing yourself to build wealth is the application of autosuggestion. This is the medium through which you may voluntarily feed your subconscious mind with thoughts of a creative nature, or thoughts which will serve your definite purpose. Let me explain this principle in simple terms. Your conscious mind is the mind with which you think and reason. Your subconscious mind is the mind that acts upon the thoughts and impulses fed to it by the conscious mind. The subconscious mind works continuously, 24 hours a day, whether you are awake or asleep. Here is the remarkable thing about the subconscious mind. It accepts as true any thought that is repeated to it persistently, and it immediately begins to work toward the physical realization of that thought. Andrew Carnegie understood this principle perfectly. He told me that every night before going to sleep, he would give his subconscious mind definite instructions regarding his business affairs. He would visualize the solution to problems, the achievement of objectives, the accumulation of wealth. His subconscious mind would then work throughout the night on these instructions, and often he would awaken in the morning with the complete solution to problems that had puzzled him for weeks. The method for applying autosuggestion to wealth building is this. You must feed your subconscious mind with thoughts of wealth, with pictures of the wealth you intend to accumulate, with plans for acquiring that wealth. This is why I emphasized in the first principle the importance of writing out a clear statement of your financial objective. When you read this statement aloud twice daily, you are using the principle of autosuggestion to impress your objective upon your subconscious mind. But mere reading is not sufficient. You must read with emotion. You must read with faith. You must read as though you already possessed the wealth you seek. You must see yourself in possession of the money. You must feel the money in your hands. You must believe that you already have it. This may seem like make-believe to you, but I assure you, it is based upon sound scientific principles. The subconscious mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real experience. When you repeatedly visualize yourself in possession of wealth, your subconscious mind accepts this as fact and begins to work toward making it a reality. Thomas Edison used this principle in all of his inventions. He would first create the invention in his mind, see it working perfectly, understand every detail of its operation. Only then would he begin the physical work of building the invention. He said that this mental creation was the most important part of the entire process. Here is your specific autosuggestion program for the first 2 weeks of your 30-day wealth-building campaign morning routine. Immediately upon awakening, before your feet touch the floor, spend 10 minutes visualizing yourself in possession of your desired wealth. See the bank statement showing the amount you seek. Feel the satisfaction of financial independence. Picture yourself using this wealth constructively. Evening routine, just before falling asleep, repeat your written financial objective 5 times aloud. As you speak the words, create a mental picture of the wealth flowing to you. See the opportunities opening before you. Feel the confidence that comes with financial security. During the day, whenever you have a few moments of free time, practice what I call wealth consciousness. Instead of dwelling upon lack, limitation, or financial worry, deliberately turn your thoughts to abundance, opportunity, and prosperity. Remember, my friend, your subconscious mind is always listening to your thoughts. It is always working to bring into reality the predominant thoughts you hold in your mind. If you fill your mind with thoughts of poverty, lack, and limitation, your subconscious mind will work to make these thoughts your reality. But if you fill your mind with thoughts of wealth, abundance, and prosperity, your subconscious mind will work just as diligently to make these thoughts your reality. The choice is yours. You can use the power of autosuggestion to make yourself wealthy, or you can use it to keep yourself poor. But you cannot avoid using it. Your subconscious mind is always being influenced by some form of autosuggestion. The fourth principle will show you how to accelerate this process through the power of specialized knowledge. Principle 4, the leverage of specialized knowledge. Knowledge by itself does not attract wealth. This may come as a surprise to you, but it is absolutely true. The world is full of educated derelicts, men and women who possess great knowledge, but who have never learned how to organize and use that knowledge in a way that brings them financial reward. However, specialized knowledge, knowledge that is organized and directed toward a definite purpose, is one of the most powerful forces for wealth accumulation. Let me tell you about Henry Ford, who accumulated hundreds of millions of dollars despite having very little formal education. When Ford was being questioned by lawyers during a lawsuit, they attempted to prove that he was ignorant by asking him various questions about history, politics, and general knowledge. Finally, Ford became tired of their questions and said, "I may not be able to answer all of your questions, but I can tell you this. I have a row of electric buttons on my desk, and by pushing the right button, I can summon to my aid men who can answer any question I choose to ask concerning the business to which I am devoting most of my efforts. Now, will you kindly tell me why I should clutter up my mind with general knowledge when I have men around me who can supply any knowledge I need?" You see, Ford understood that the key to wealth is not the possession of knowledge, but the ability to organize and use knowledge effectively. He had specialized knowledge in the field of automobile manufacturing, and he had surrounded himself with men who possessed specialized knowledge in other areas essential to his business. This brings us to an important point. You do not need to personally possess all the knowledge necessary to accumulate wealth. What you need is the ability to organize knowledge and direct it toward your definite purpose. During my research, I discovered that every wealthy person I studied had either specialized knowledge in a particular field or had formed alliances with people who possessed the specialized knowledge they needed. Charles Schwab knew very little about the technical aspects of steelmaking when he became president of Bethlehem Steel. But he had specialized knowledge in the field of human relations and the ability to organize other men's efforts. He surrounded himself with technical experts and concentrated his own efforts on the areas where his specialized knowledge was most valuable. Now, what specialized knowledge do you need to force yourself to build wealth in 30 days? This depends entirely upon the method you choose for accumulating wealth. But there are certain types of specialized knowledge that are valuable in almost any wealth-building endeavor. First, you need specialized knowledge about opportunity recognition. You must learn to see opportunities that others overlook. This requires training your mind to think in terms of service. What services are needed that are not being adequately provided? Second, you need specialized knowledge about people. Wealth is accumulated through the cooperation of other people. You must understand what motivates people, how to gain their cooperation, how to organize their efforts toward your objective. Third, you need specialized knowledge about your chosen field of endeavor. If you plan to build wealth through real estate, you must know the real estate business. If you plan to build wealth through the stock market, you must understand investing principles. If you plan to build wealth through business ownership, you must understand business principles. Fourth, you need specialized knowledge about money itself, how it works, how it grows, how it can be made to work for you. Here is your program for acquiring specialized knowledge during your 30-day wealth-building campaign, Week 1. Identify the specific field through which you intend to accumulate wealth. This should be a field in which you already have some knowledge or natural ability, or a field that holds strong appeal for you. Week 2. Make a list of the specialized knowledge you will need in this field. Do not limit yourself to knowledge you currently possess. Include all the knowledge that would be helpful to your success. Week 3. Develop a plan for acquiring this knowledge. This may involve reading books, taking courses, consulting with experts, or forming alliances with people who already possess the knowledge you need. Week 4. Begin implementing your knowledge acquisition plan. Remember, knowledge without action is worthless. You must not only acquire knowledge, but also organize it and put it to use. But here is the key point. You do not need to wait until you have acquired all the knowledge you need before you begin taking action. You can begin with the knowledge you already possess and acquire additional knowledge as you need it. Edison began his career as an inventor with very limited technical knowledge, but he had the intelligence to surround himself with skilled technicians and to learn from them as he worked. He acquired specialized knowledge through practical application rather than through academic study. Remember, the goal is not to become a walking encyclopedia. The goal is to acquire and organize the specific knowledge you need to achieve your definite purpose. Everything else is merely interesting but irrelevant to your wealth-building objective. The fifth principle will show you how to transform your specialized knowledge into practical plans of action. Principle 5, the Mastermind Alliance. No individual has sufficient experience, education, native ability, and knowledge to ensure the accumulation of great wealth without the cooperation of other people. This cooperation must be obtained through what I call a mastermind alliance. The mastermind may be defined as coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. When two or more people work together in perfect harmony for the attainment of a definite objective, they place themselves in position to absorb power directly from the great universal storehouse of infinite intelligence. Let me give you a powerful illustration of this principle. Andrew Carnegie surrounded himself with a mastermind group of more than 50 men. These men were specialists in various phases of the steel business and in related industries. Carnegie coordinated their efforts and directed them toward the definite objective of building the greatest steel business in the world. Carnegie once told me, "Take away my factories, my plants, my railroads, my money, but leave me my organization of men, and in 5 years I will have reestablished my entire fortune." He understood that his real wealth lay not in his physical assets, but in his ability to coordinate the efforts of other men through the mastermind principle. Henry Ford's first mastermind alliance consisted of only 3 men, himself, his wife, and W.C. Durant. With this simple mastermind group, Ford laid the foundation for one of the world's greatest industrial fortunes. As his business grew, he expanded his mastermind group to include dozens of specialists. But the principle remained the same, the coordination of knowledge and effort for a definite purpose. Now you may be thinking, Mr. Hill, I am not Andrew Carnegie or Henry Ford. I do not have access to captains of industry. How can I form a mastermind alliance? The answer is simpler than you might think. Your mastermind alliance need not consist of wealthy or famous people. It need only consist of people who are willing to work in harmony with you toward your definite objective and who can contribute knowledge, experience, or effort that you do not possess. Your mastermind alliance might include a person with business experience who can provide guidance on practical matters. This might be a successful business owner, a retired executive, or an experienced professional, a person with technical knowledge in your chosen field. This might be an expert, a specialist, or someone who has succeeded in the field you wish to enter. A person with financial knowledge who can advise you on money matters, investments, and financial planning. A person who believes in you and your objectives so strongly that they will provide moral support and encouragement during difficult times. Here is the crucial point. The members of your mastermind alliance need not be wealthy themselves. They need only possess knowledge, experience, or qualities that complement your own abilities. I once knew a man who formed a mastermind alliance with his wife, his brother-in-law who was an accountant, and a friend who was a salesman. None of these people were wealthy, but each possessed specialized knowledge that was valuable to the man's business objective. Within 3 years, this simple mastermind alliance had enabled him to build a business worth more than $1 million. During your 30-day wealth-building program, you must identify and begin assembling your mastermind alliance. Here is your specific plan, days 1 to 7. Make a list of all the people you know who possess knowledge, experience, or abilities that could be helpful to your wealth-building objective. Do not limit yourself to wealthy or prominent people. Include anyone who might be able to contribute to your success. Days 8 to 14. Approach the most promising candidates and explain your objective. Ask if they would be willing to meet with you regularly to discuss your progress and provide advice and guidance. Be honest about your purpose and clear about what you hope to gain from the relationship. Days 15 to 21. Hold your first mastermind meeting. Present your definite objective clearly. Ask each member to suggest ways they might contribute to your success. Establish a regular meeting schedule. Days 22 to 30, continue to hold regular mastermind meetings. Use these meetings to report on your progress, discuss obstacles you encounter, and receive advice and guidance from your alliance members. Remember, the Mastermind Alliance is based upon the principle of reciprocity. You must be willing to contribute to the success of your alliance members just as they contribute to your success. This is not a one-way relationship. It is a mutually beneficial arrangement in which all parties gain from the association. One word of caution: choose your Mastermind Alliance members carefully. You want people who are positive, ambitious, and supportive of your objectives. Avoid people who are negative, pessimistic, or prone to discouragement. The mental attitude of your alliance members will have a profound influence on your own mental state. The sixth principle will show you how to maintain the persistent action necessary to achieve your wealth-building objective. Principle 6, the persistence formula. Persistence is the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. Persistence is the direct result of habit. The mind absorbs and becomes a part of the daily experiences upon which it feeds. Fear, the worst of all enemies, can be effectively cured by forced repetition of acts of courage. Let me tell you about one of the most remarkable demonstrations of persistence I have ever witnessed. A young man came to see Thomas Edison with an idea for an improved storage battery. Edison examined the idea and agreed to hire the young man to develop it. For more than 10,000 experiments, the young man failed to produce a satisfactory battery. His friends ridiculed him. His family urged him to give up and find sensible work. But the young man persisted. When I asked him how he could continue in the face of so many failures, he replied, "Mr. Hill, I have not failed 10,000 times. I have successfully identified 10,000 ways that will not work. Each failure has brought me closer to the solution." On his 10,001st experiment, he produced a storage battery that revolutionized the automobile industry and made him wealthy beyond his dreams. You see, my friend, persistence is not merely the ability to continue in the face of obstacles. Persistence is the ability to maintain your faith and enthusiasm despite temporary defeats. It is the ability to keep your mind focused on your objective, regardless of the circumstances you encounter. During my study of successful men and women, I discovered that every one of them had encountered periods of discouragement, temporary defeat, and seemingly insurmountable obstacles. The difference between those who succeeded and those who failed was simple. The successful ones persisted, while the others quit. Henry Ford persisted through years of ridicule and financial difficulty before his automobile became successful. The Wright brothers persisted through hundreds of failures before they achieved powered flight. Every great achievement in human history has been the result of persistence applied to a definite objective. But persistence cannot be developed through willpower alone. Persistence must be based upon definite motives. The stronger your motive for achieving your objective, the greater will be your ability to persist in the face of obstacles. This is why I emphasized earlier the importance of having a burning desire backed by definite motives that go beyond mere personal gain. When your motive is strong enough, persistence becomes automatic. Here is your specific persistence formula for your 30-day wealth-building program. First, you must have a definite objective. This is your written statement of the amount of wealth you intend to accumulate and the date by which you intend to accumulate it. Second, you must have a definite plan for achieving this objective. This plan may be modified as you gain experience, but you must always have a plan of action. Third, you must close your mind to all negative and discouraging influences. This includes negative people, negative thoughts, and negative circumstances. Fourth, you must form a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage you to follow through with your plan and your purpose. This is your mastermind alliance. These 4 steps are essential to the development of persistence, but they must be applied consistently, day after day, for the full 30 days of your program. Here is what you must do each day. Morning, begin each day by reading your written objective aloud. Visualize yourself already in possession of the wealth you seek. Feel the satisfaction of achievement. This starts your day with the right mental attitude. During the day, whenever you encounter obstacles or discouragement, immediately remind yourself of your definite objective and your reasons for achieving it. Do not allow temporary setbacks to weaken your persistence. Evening. End each day by reviewing your progress. Ask yourself, what have I accomplished today toward my objective? What can I do tomorrow to move closer to my goal? This keeps your mind focused on progress rather than on problems. Remember, persistence is a state of mind. It can be cultivated by having definite motives, by surrounding yourself with encouraging influences, and by forming the habit of focusing on your objective rather than on your obstacles. Every wealthy person I have studied has had to overcome periods of discouragement and temporary defeat. The difference between success and failure is often measured by one's ability to persist just a little bit longer than the average person. The seventh and final principle will show you how to apply decision-making power to accelerate your wealth-building process. Principle 7, the power of decision. Analysis of hundreds of men and women who have accumulated fortunes well beyond the $1 million mark reveals the fact that every one of them had the habit of reaching decisions promptly and changing those decisions slowly, if at all. People who fail to accumulate money, without exception, have the habit of reaching decisions very slowly, if at all, and of changing these decisions quickly and often. This principle may seem simple, but it is one of the most important factors in wealth accumulation. The ability to make decisions quickly and stick to them is the hallmark of successful people in every field of endeavor. Let me illustrate this principle with the story of how Andrew Carnegie made one of the most important decisions of his career. Carnegie was offered the opportunity to merge his steel company with several other companies to form what would become the United States Steel Corporation. The offer was made to Carnegie on a Saturday afternoon. The bankers expected him to take weeks or months to consider such a momentous decision. Instead, Carnegie listened to the proposal, asked a few questions, and then said, "Gentlemen, I accept your offer." The entire decision took less than 1 hour. That decision made Carnegie the richest man in the world at that time. When I asked Carnegie how he could make such an important decision so quickly, he replied, "Mr. Hill, I had been preparing for that decision for 20 years. When the opportunity came, I already knew what I would do." You see, the ability to make quick decisions is not the result of impulse or recklessness. It is the result of having clear objectives, definite plans, and the courage to act when opportunity presents itself. During my study of Henry Ford, I learned that he made the decision to build his first automobile before he had the money, the facilities, or even the complete knowledge necessary to build it. But he made the decision and then found ways to acquire what he needed. Ford once told me, "If I had waited until I had everything I needed before making the decision to build automobiles, I would still be waiting. The decision came first, everything else followed." This brings us to a crucial point. You cannot wait for perfect conditions before making decisions about your wealth-building activities. Perfect conditions never exist. You must make decisions based on the information available to you at the time, and then modify your plans as you gain more information and experience. Procrastination is the enemy of wealth. Every day you delay making decisions about your financial future is a day lost in your wealth-building campaign. Time is your most valuable asset, and it cannot be recovered once it is lost. Here is your decision-making formula for your 30-day wealth-building program, Week 1. Make the fundamental decisions about your wealth-building campaign. Decide exactly how much money you want to accumulate. Decide the method you will use to accumulate it. Decide the time limit for your achievement. Write these decisions down and commit to them. Week 2. Make the operational decisions necessary to implement your plan. Decide what specific actions you will take each day. Decide what resources you will need and how you will acquire them. Decide who you will include in your mastermind alliance. Week 3. Make the tactical decisions that arise as you implement your plan. When opportunities present themselves, decide quickly whether to pursue them. When obstacles arise, decide quickly how to overcome them. Do not allow indecision to paralyze your progress. Week 4. Make the strategic decisions necessary to accelerate your progress. Based on what you have learned during the first 3 weeks, decide what modifications to make in your plan. Decide what additional resources you need. Decide what new opportunities to pursue. Here are the characteristics of effective decision-making. Speed. Make decisions as quickly as possible based on the information available to you. Do not wait for perfect information because it never exists. Firmness. Once you make a decision, stick to it unless you have compelling evidence that it was wrong. Do not change decisions based on the opinions of others or because of temporary setbacks. Clarity. Make sure your decisions are specific and actionable. Vague decisions lead to vague results. Alignment. Make sure all your decisions support your definite objective. Do not make decisions that conflict with your overall purpose. Remember, the most important decision you will make is the decision to begin. Many people spend their entire lives planning to accumulate wealth, but never make the decision to start. They are always going to begin someday, or when conditions are right, or when they have more knowledge. The truth is, the best time to begin accumulating wealth was 20 years ago. The second best time is today, right now. This moment, the master formula, putting IT all together. Now, my friend, let me give you the master formula that ties all 7 principles together into a unified system for forcing yourself to build wealth in 30 days. This formula is based upon the accumulated wisdom of more than 500 successful men and women. It has been tested in the laboratory of human experience and proven to work with mathematical precision when properly applied. The master formula consists of 7 steps that must be applied simultaneously and persistently for 30 consecutive days. Step 1, create your definite objective. Write out a clear, specific statement of exactly how much money you intend to accumulate and by what date. Make this statement so definite that you could hand it to a stranger and they would understand exactly what you intend to accomplish. Step 2, develop burning desire. Identify the reasons why you must achieve this objective. Make these reasons so compelling that failure becomes impossible to accept. Your desire must be so intense that it becomes the dominating thought of your mind. Step 3, apply autosuggestion. Read your written objective aloud twice daily, morning and evening. As you read, visualize yourself already in possession of the wealth you seek. Feel the emotions you would experience if you had already achieved your goal. Step 4, acquire specialized knowledge. Identify the specific knowledge you need to achieve your objective and begin acquiring it immediately. You need not wait until you have all the knowledge before you begin taking action. Step 5, form your mastermind alliance. Surround yourself with people who can contribute to your success through their knowledge, experience, or moral support. Meet with your alliance regularly to discuss your progress and receive guidance. Step 6, apply persistence. Maintain consistent daily action toward your objective regardless of obstacles, setbacks, or discouragement. Let nothing stop your forward progress. Step 7, make decisions quickly. When opportunities arise, act immediately. When obstacles appear, decide quickly how to overcome them. Do not allow indecision to delay your progress. These 7 steps must be applied as a unified system. Each step supports and reinforces the others. Remove any one step and the entire system becomes weakened. But here is the most important point. You must apply this system with absolute faith in its effectiveness. Doubt and fear are the enemies of wealth. If you approach this formula with skepticism or half-hearted effort, it will not work for you. However, if you apply this formula with complete faith, with burning desire, with persistent daily action, I can promise you that within 30 days you will see definite evidence that wealth is beginning to flow toward you. You may not have $1 million in your bank account 30 days from today, but you will have set in motion the forces that will make your financial independence inevitable. Let me share with you the experiences of 3 individuals who applied this exact formula. The first was a young woman, 23 years of age, who worked as a secretary for $12 per week. She applied this formula with the objective of accumulating $10,000 within 2 years. She began by developing specialized knowledge in real estate during her spare time. She formed a mastermind alliance with a successful real estate investor who agreed to mentor her in exchange for her assistance with his business. Within 18 months, she had accumulated her $10,000 through real estate investments. The second was a man, 45 years of age, who had been unemployed for 6 months. He applied this formula with the objective of starting his own business and earning $50,000 within 1 year. He identified a need in his community for a specialized service and developed a plan to provide that service. He formed a mastermind alliance with 3 other unemployed professionals who possessed complementary skills. Within 8 months, their business was generating more than $50,000 annually. The third was a retired man, 62 years of age, who had modest savings but no experience in business. He applied this formula with the objective of doubling his retirement income within 1 year. He developed specialized knowledge in a hobby he had pursued for years and found a way to monetize that knowledge through teaching and consulting. Within 10 months, he had achieved his objective. These are not exceptional cases, my friend. They are typical results when this formula is applied with definiteness of purpose and persistence. 30-day action plan. To ensure your success, I am now going to give you a specific day-by-day action plan for applying the master formula during your 30-day wealth building campaign. On days 1 to 3, foundation building. Day 1, write your definite objective. Be specific about the amount of money you want and the date by which you want it. Write also your plan for achieving this objective and what you intend to give in return for the money. Day 2, identify your burning desire. Write down all the reasons why you must achieve your financial objective. Make this list so compelling that failure becomes unthinkable. Day 3, begin your auto-suggestion program. Read your written objective aloud morning and evening. Start visualizing yourself in possession of your desired wealth. On days 4 to 7, knowledge acquisition. Day 4, identify the specialized knowledge you need. Make a list of everything you need to learn to achieve your objective. Day 5, create your knowledge acquisition plan. Decide how you will gain the knowledge you need, through books, courses, mentors, or practical experience. Day 6, begin acquiring knowledge. Start reading, studying, or consulting with experts in your chosen field. Day 7, take your first concrete action. Do something, no matter how small, that moves you toward your objective. Days 8 to 14, mastermind formation. Day 8, identify potential mastermind members. Make a list of people who could contribute to your success. Day 9, approach your first potential mastermind member. Explain your objective and ask for their participation. Day 10, continue recruiting mastermind members. Aim for at least 3 committed participants. Day 11, hold your first mastermind meeting. Present your objective and discuss how each member can contribute. Day 12, implement suggestions from your mastermind alliance. Take action on the advice you received. Day 13, begin daily action based on your mastermind discussions. Establish a routine of consistent daily effort. Day 14, hold your second mastermind meeting. Report on your progress and discuss any obstacles you've encountered. Days 15 to 21, momentum building. Day 15, evaluate your progress. Assess what's working and what needs adjustment in your plan. Day 16, make necessary modifications to your plan based on your evaluation. Day 17, intensify your efforts. Increase the amount of time and energy you're devoting to your objective. Day 18, seek new opportunities. Actively look for ways to accelerate your progress. Day 19, make important decisions quickly. Practice the decision-making principle in all your wealth-building activities. Day 20, overcome obstacles with persistence. When you encounter setbacks, persist through them. Day 21, hold your third mastermind meeting, share your progress, and receive additional guidance. And days 22 to 28, acceleration phase. Day 22, expand your activities. Look for ways to multiply your efforts and increase your results. Day 23, network with other success-minded individuals. Seek out people who can help you achieve your objective. Day 24, refine your specialized knowledge. Deepen your expertise in your chosen field. Day 25, increase your auto-suggestion practice. Spend more time visualizing your success. Day 26, take calculated risks. Be willing to step outside your comfort zone to achieve greater results. Day 27, prepare for long-term success. Begin planning how you will continue your wealth-building efforts beyond the 30-day period. Day 28, hold your fourth mastermind meeting. Celebrate your progress and plan for continued success. Days 29 to 30, consolidation and commitment. Day 29, evaluate your total progress. Measure how far you've come since day 1. Day 30, commit to continuing your wealth-building efforts. Make the decision to persist until you achieve your ultimate objective. Remember, my friend, this 30-day program is not an end in itself. It is the beginning of a new way of life. It is the establishment of habits and thought patterns that will serve you throughout your lifetime. Common obstacles. and how to overcome them. During your 30-day wealth building campaign, you will undoubtedly encounter obstacles. Let me prepare you for the most common ones and show you how to overcome them. Obstacle 1: doubt and fear. You may begin to doubt whether this formula will work for you. You may fear that you lack the ability to succeed. When doubt and fear arise, immediately return to your written objective and your list of reasons for achieving it. Remind yourself that this formula has worked for hundreds of others and it will work for you if you persist. Obstacle 2: criticism from others. Friends and family members may criticize your efforts. They may tell you that you're being unrealistic or that you should be satisfied with your current circumstances. Remember that most people are not success-minded. They cannot understand what you're trying to accomplish. Do not allow their criticism to discourage you. Obstacle 3: temporary setbacks. You may encounter temporary defeats or setbacks. Plans may not work as expected. Opportunities may not materialize as quickly as you hoped. Remember that temporary setbacks are not permanent failures. They are simply feedback that allows you to adjust your approach. Obstacle 4: lack of immediate results. You may become discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Remember that wealth accumulation is a process, not an event. The most important results may not be visible immediately. Have faith that your consistent efforts are creating the foundation for future success. Obstacle 5: procrastination. You may be tempted to postpone taking action until conditions are more favorable. Remember that perfect conditions never exist. The best time to begin is now. Take action with the resources and knowledge you currently possess. The key to overcoming all obstacles is to maintain your focus on your definite objective and to persist in your daily actions regardless of circumstances. The scientific basis of wealth accumulation. Before I conclude, let me share with you the scientific principles upon which this formula is based. This is not mere theory or speculation. These principles are grounded in the fundamental laws that govern human achievement. Law of attraction. Your mind is a powerful magnet that attracts circumstances, opportunities, and people that harmonize with your dominant thoughts. When you focus your mind consistently on wealth and success, you attract the conditions necessary for wealth accumulation. When the law of vibration. Everything in the universe vibrates at a specific frequency. Thoughts of wealth and success vibrate at a high frequency that attracts similar vibrations. This is why it's essential to maintain positive, wealth-conscious thoughts. Vierte law of correspondence. Your external circumstances correspond to your internal mental state. As you develop wealth consciousness internally, your external circumstances begin to reflect that consciousness. Law of cause and effect. Every effect has a cause. Wealth is an effect that is caused by the application of specific principles. When you apply the right causes, you will inevitably produce the effect of wealth. These laws operate with mathematical precision. They are as reliable as the law of gravity. When you understand and apply them correctly, your success becomes inevitable. Throughout this presentation, I have emphasized the importance of belief. Let me explain why belief is so crucial to your success. Your belief determines your actions. Your actions determine your results. If you believe you can accumulate wealth, you will take the actions necessary to accumulate wealth. If you believe you cannot accumulate wealth, you will not take those actions. But belief is more than just a mental attitude. Belief is a state of mind that attracts the cooperation of others. People can sense your level of belief, and they respond accordingly. When you truly believe in your ability to succeed, others will believe in you as well. Andrew Carnegie once told me, "The man who believes he can accomplish a thing and the man who believes he cannot are both right. The one who believes he can will find a way. The one who believes he cannot will find an excuse." Your belief must be absolute. It must be unwavering. It must be strong enough to sustain you through periods of doubt and discouragement. How do you develop such belief? Through the consistent application of the principles I have outlined. As you see evidence of progress, your belief will grow stronger. As your belief grows stronger, your progress will accelerate. This creates what I call the success spiral, a self-reinforcing cycle in which belief creates action, action creates results, results strengthen belief, and stronger belief creates more effective action. My friend, I have given you the master key to wealth. I have shared with you the accumulated wisdom of 20 years of research into the methods of America's most successful men and women. I have provided you with a specific 30-day program for applying these principles. But all of this knowledge is worthless unless you act upon it. Knowledge without action is merely potential power. It becomes real power only when it is organized into definite plans and directed toward a specific objective. The question now is not whether these principles will work. The question is whether you will work them. I challenge you to begin today, right now, this very moment. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for more favorable conditions. Do not wait until you feel more confident or more prepared. Take out a pen and paper and write your definite objective. Be specific about the amount of money you want and the date by which you want it. Write down your plan for achieving this objective. Write down what you intend to give in return for the money. Then begin immediately to apply the 7 principles I have outlined. Form your mastermind alliance. Develop your specialized knowledge. Apply autosuggestion daily. Make decisions quickly. Persist through all obstacles. Remember, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. You have the power within you to accomplish anything you can conceive and believe. The only question is whether you will use that power. I have seen these principles transform the lives of countless individuals. I have seen them lift people from poverty to prosperity, from failure to success, from despair to hope. But I have also seen people who possessed all the knowledge necessary for success, yet failed to apply it. They had the key to wealth in their hands, but they never used it to unlock the door. Do not be one of those people. Do not let this opportunity pass you by. Do not allow fear, doubt, or procrastination to rob you of your financial independence. The time for action is now. The opportunity is before you. The power is within you. 30 days from today, you can be well on your way to financial independence. You can have definite plans in motion. You can have a mastermind alliance working with you. You can have specialized knowledge working for you. You can have the forces of the universe working in your favor, but only if you begin today. I leave you with this thought: success is not a destination. It is a journey. It is not something you arrive at. It is something you become. You become successful by applying success principles consistently, persistently, and with absolute faith in their effectiveness. The principles I have shared with you today are your roadmap to that success. Follow them faithfully, and they will lead you to wealth beyond your current dreams. The journey begins with a single step. Take that step today. Force yourself to build wealth in 30 days. Your future self will thank you for the decision you make today. The power is in your hands. Use it wisely. Use it now. Thank you, and may your journey to wealth begin today. Before I close, let me share with you one final story that illustrates the power of these principles. A young man once approached me after a lecture and said, "Mr. Hill, I appreciate everything you've shared, but I'm not sure I can do this. I don't have much education. I don't have any money. I don't have influential connections. How can someone like me possibly succeed?" I looked at this young man and I saw the same doubt and fear that holds millions of people back from achieving their dreams. But I also saw something else. I saw potential. I saw possibility. I saw the same raw material from which great fortunes are built. I said to him, "Young man, you have the most important asset necessary for success. You have a mind. You can think. You can dream. You can plan. And you can act. These are the only tools you need to build wealth." That young man went on to apply the principles I had taught him. Within 5 years, he had built a business worth more than $2 million. He had transformed himself from a doubting, struggling individual into a confident, successful entrepreneur. What made the difference? He made the decision to believe in himself and in the principles of success. He took action despite his fears and doubts. He persisted through obstacles and setbacks. He never gave up on his dreams. You have the same potential within you. You have the same ability to succeed. You have the same power to transform your life. The only difference between you and the wealthy people I have studied is that they have applied these principles and you have not. Yet. But that can change today. That can change right now. You are not limited by your past experiences. You are not limited by your current circumstances. You are not limited by other people's opinions of your potential. You are limited only by your own beliefs about what is possible for you. I believe in your ability to succeed. I believe in your potential to build wealth. I believe in your power to transform your life. Now you must believe in yourself. The formula is proven, the principles are sound, the opportunity is real. The only question that remains is, will you act? I pray that you will. I pray that 30 days from today you will look back on this moment as the turning point in your financial life. I pray that you will have the courage to take the first step on your journey to wealth. Remember, every great fortune began with a single decision, the decision to begin. Make that decision today. Your wealthy future is waiting for you. Claim it now.